Hey guys, I'm looking back here for that video, guys. Today, I got a new microphone. Just a little side note. So mic quality on this channel should get a crap ton better as I am now rocking with this Shure SM7B. So, anyway, with that being said, we also put the NFL back to 2017. 2017 plus every single player is the age of 1 year old, which means they could, in theory, play for the next 40 years. Now, with Madden franchise mode, you can only play 15 seasons. So it doesn't change much when it comes to that aspect. But let's just go ahead and see what happens. So let's start off with the regular season here. I've done this video many times with the 2007 mod. This is the 2017 mod. Shout out to the Madden mod community for posting this in the Discord. I'll be honest, it's the weird thing about this is whenever I do these videos, the players end up all Superstar X Factors and all 99 overalls because they're 1 year old. Okay, so over time, because they're still going to be young no matter what, they develop super stupidly quickly. So we're going to see some of these guys become 99s across the board pretty much for every single team. So Alex Smith, 43 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. As always, when I do these rosters, it's weird when we start off because Alex Smith is like the best player possible. And then that transitions very quickly over to none other than Patrick Mahomes, who just lost the Super Bowl, by the way. So like every time I do this franchise, Alex Smith is MVP. Then next second later, he loses. So loses his job, loses his everything, and he kind of falls off the face of the earth. But you know what? He's 1 year old. So he's not going to fall off the face of the earth, and this is going to be the comeback tour. Now, the first season is back in 2017, so there's only a 16-game schedule. There's not a 17-game schedule. So just keep that in mind. Records right now look weird because of how it's all set up. But in the future, after this year, we're going to see a 17-game schedule. So that's going to change up some things. So for our playoff brackets, we got Chargers at number 1 seed. Seahawks at number 1 seed. Let's see how these playoffs go, as somehow, some way, I just realized my team, not my team, but the team I'm controlling, which I do want to go ahead and do this real fast. They did pretty amazing. So I gotta say, even though I didn't set it to auto, they still did pretty damn well. But what I want to see is if we can beat the LA Rams. We did. I'm going to keep injuries on. I'm not turning those off. Keeping those on. I want to see who ends up going to the Super Bowl. And it looks like, go back real fast. Looks like it's going to be bam, bam, bam. Steelers, Falcons. So we lost by 3 points in the NFC Championship game. So it's number 2 seed versus number 2 seed here. And I'm going to guess that the Falcons win this one. This is 2017 on the outskirts of Big Ben's run. And the Steelers end up winning. Okay, so I thought Big Ben would lose that Super Bowl. So ironically enough, he actually ends up doing the complete opposite of what I actually said. As always, when it comes to this, we will be going ahead and doing the correct draft classes. So, for example, we will be doing 2018 here. Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, Josh Allen. You guys probably already know this draft class very well. Again, we did do a video breaking down 2017, 2018, 19, 20, all the way up to 24. In the video, we went through the whole situation. So that's why I'm going through this a little bit quick, because we have already kind of done this in like a 2-hour video. And this is kind of like a more condensed version of funnisticity actions. Guys, if you have not hit the like and subscribe button already, make sure you go ahead and do that. I appreciate it greatly. All right, so where did everybody go? So I'm going to have to end up changing the ages after we get through some of these drafts back to 1 year old, because I kind of want these guys to also, be 1 year old forever. The Giants win with Saquon Barkley again. Yeah, that's an interesting situation. Love how the Ravens still win yet again with Hayden Hurst. Just like, you know what? Didn't work the first time. Why not take a second shot at it the second time? All right. So, as always, when it comes to these drafts, I do like to go through them because they are interesting. But we're trying to make this video not like 6 hours long. So that's my goal when it comes to some of these mod videos, is we're trying to make it a little bit faster. Because when you make a 2-hour video, people fall asleep to it. Got a comment one time, someone said that. They're like, I just fell asleep to this video you made. I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment or a disgust or a bad thing. Because my voice usually gives people night terrors. It doesn't let them fall asleep. All right, who's Mr. Irrelevant for the first NFL draft? That's what I want to know right now. Mr. Irrelevant is Marcel Harris. Okay. Interesting. All right, so now let's go to our second season. And one thing you will tell is some of these 1-year-old players are now 2, right? But you can see 99 Russell Wilson, 99 Earl Thomas, and they're going to start to slowly get higher and higher overalls because of that. Well, not overalls, but they're going to get higher, overalls. Some of them will become Superstar X Factors. Some of them will be just regular, superstars. It gets to a point because of how young they are in this, how I have this set up, that it's hard for them not to all become somewhat of a either superstar or a Superstar X Factor. So right here you can see a lot of 99s. Well, there was a lot of 99s. Now getting down to the 92, 93s. Again, this just goes up higher and higher. Kareem Hunt back when he was with the Chiefs. Well, he is actually with the Chiefs now. But, like, that's back when he was, like, Kareem Hunt, before he did the hotel incident. Before that, he was actually pretty good. Then, hotel incident happened, and then, fell off the face of the earth. Deshaun Watson-esque. Something like that. I don't know. I feel like now people like Kareem Hunt again. So it's weird. I feel like there's always that time period where people hate you for what you did, and then they start to like you again. So I guess I don't know if people are ever going to start liking Deshaun Watson again. Hopefully not. Shout out to the fact, though, in this franchise, Seahawks win 14-3 again. So number 1 seed back-to-back years. Let's go over to stats, though, and take a look at this. So MVP this time was Alex Smith. Again, because he's so young, he might win MVP every single year of this franchise. And speaking of the devil, Deshaun Watson. He might win MVP every single year of this franchise, potentially. And we might not ever see Patrick Mahomes. Now, one thing that is an interesting factor is contracts. So while, yes, I gave everyone, like 1 year old, they are still under contract, theoretically speaking, for whatever contracts they're a part of. So, theoretically speaking, they're all going to eventually leave their said teams. But back-to-back NFC Championship games, and this time the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl, and they play the Steelers again. So, back-to-back games for the Steelers as well. And they lose to the Steelers. So Ben wins 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. Ugh. Not something I'd love to see. Being a Bengals fan here. So let's actually go to schedule. And let's go to playoffs. So this is what the playoff picture and / final ended up being. Raiders versus Steelers. And Seahawks versus Cowboys. Yeah. Shout out to the fact that the Steelers actually could three-peat. We did a whole entire franchise video. I mean, we just watched a team in the Super Bowl fail to three-peat, and now we might see it in this Madden video. Because, yeah. All right, so let me import local files. 2019, not 2019. Lordy. Okay, so this was the Henry Ruggs draft, which obviously in Madden he will get drafted somewhere. We'll find out where that said place is. But as always, we're just going to go ahead and sim forward here, skip forward to the 7th, 8th, and recap it. So, 2019 NFL draft. recapped out as Greg Little was the Seahawks' first overall pick, but Quinnen Williams was the first overall pick of this draft. And as always, this was, I feel like there is, all right, listen, there is a couple drafts, right? 2020 draft's a good example of this, where there was like a lot of good quarterbacks. And every like certain amount of years, I feel like we have that. We have a draft where there's like a certain amount of really good quarterbacks, but then there's really, really bad ones as well. And that's like every other year except for a couple years. Like there's a couple years where it's just absolutely glazing city, home run city, and then it's just like really, really crappy years. And right now we're kind of in that period. I don't know. Caleb Williams was supposed to be that really good year, but I don't know if he is. CJ Stroud was supposed to be a really good. I don't know about that right now. So we're in that kind of gray area. But tell me down below, do you think CJ Stroud is the guy? Not CJ Stroud, sorry. Caleb Williams. CJ Stroud's going to be the guy, but we'll see how it ends up working out. But do you think Caleb Williams ends up being the guy? I am kind of still on the fence about it. I still believe he's not as good as people thought he was going to be. But again, people thought he was going to be Patrick Mahomes V2. So I guess Gunnar Olszewski, who ends up on the Steelers anyway, who played for the Steelers and the Patriots, end up on the Super Bowl roster of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I guess that works out in the end there. Let's go ahead and go to the playoffs here. And let's see how this ends up shaking out. My guess is, again, we're just going to see the same exact matchups as last year. Like, we might just start seeing the same matchups every single year now in this franchise. Again, you do have to keep the players. You obviously have to sign them. Like, you have to work within the salary cap. But I just feel like there's so many ways you can kind of finesse that. Especially with how good these players are. And if everyone's a 99, then it works out. Okay, so Seahawks made the playoffs again. But this time, it took a little bit. It wasn't a first seed playoff spot. We have so many 99s already. All right, so that's where the 99s end. Okay, we got all the 98s. Which, if you know anything about franchise mode, this is not normal to see this amount of players with 95 plus ratings. Like half the thing, or I guess one fourth of the thing here is just 95 plus overall ratings. Did three-peat it? No. Russell Wilson actually ends up MVP, and Alex Smith was like 5th. Wow. That's actually heavily surprising because he still had the most yards. And wait, he had more yards and more touchdowns than Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson only had 4 interceptions. I feel like that's low key. They just didn't want to give the same guy the award 16 different times. Because I feel like the Chiefs definitely, Alex Smith definitely deserved it there. He deserved it over Russell Wilson, okay? That's what I'll say. He definitely deserved it over Russell Wilson. All right, so that's our Super Bowl window here. And we are 13-4, so 3 straight years of dominance for the Seahawks. And they lose to the Rams. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. So the Super Bowl was between the Chargers and the Cowboys, as the Steelers were about to have their three-peat on, and they lost by 1 point in the AFC Championship game. So they will not be able to three-peat, and they will be falling short of the Super Bowl. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, Dak Prescott won the Super Bowl, so shout out to him. And let's now look at the next NFL draft class, which is going to be 2020. This is going to be the Joe Burrow S draft class, which also had Jamar Chase. No, not Jamar Chase. T. Higgins. T. Higgins and Joe Burrow in the same draft class. So hopefully they end up on the Bengals together. Whenever I do these videos, obviously I don't really care where they end up. Like players, like, cool. You know, it's nice to see players with different teams. Not for my quarterback, though. I don't like to see him in any other uniform than a Bengals uniform, you know, biasy. But yeah. All right. Recap. Where did players end up? That is a very long name right there. Jeff Okudah, first overall pick. That's not something you normally see. Joe Burrow goes to the Colts. Wait, hold up. Wait, Henry Ruggs? Oh, I thought Henry Ruggs was the last draft. I might have just absolutely mind fluffed myself. All right, so I thought Henry Ruggs was the last draft, but apparently he wasn't. He actually was this draft, so yeah, shout out to that fact. Oh, I just now have 2 Henry Ruggs in the league. I don't think we do, but that would be absolutely horrendous after, you know, him being him. Not the greatest guy of all time. Definitely not. All right, so 5th round, we got James Morgan. I believe he went to the Jets. Maybe not. He actually sounds like a Buccaneer. There's some players, I swear, that when you look at their name, Geno Stone goes to Ravens again. When you look at certain players' names, you can just tell what team they are. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm so put into football. Like I'm just so ingrained into football. But every time I look at someone's name, I can automatically be like, yep, that guy plays for this team. That guy's plays for that team. Like, it just, I don't know. My brain's automatically. You look at someone's face, and I probably got that wrong too, by the way. I know for a fact that he probably doesn't play for the Buccaneers or never played for the Buccaneers. But there are certain players I can look at and just be like, that's a Raider. That's the Raider right there. All right, so let's look at overalls. 99s. Okay. Still rocking. All true 99s, by the way. All these guys are true. Ooh, okay. I feel like 98's crept up quickly. Yeah, I feel like 98's kind of crept up quickly a little bit. We have a 98 overall kicker. You know, this is that type of video. 98 overall kicker. All right, well, I guess that's the thing. So what we're going to do is, after we go through all these next 4 years, we're then going to set everyone's age back to 1, and then I'm going to sim 10 years. So we're going to see how things, or I'm going to sim to the as close to the end of the franchise as I can. See what ends up shaking out. Because I got a feeling we're going to see these players still be playing in 10 years. It's a little feeling there. Anyway, Seahawks missed the playoffs, so that's disappointing. The Patriots are now apparently dominant again. How? Oh, wait. The Patriots got Tom Brady, don't they? Yeah, I just made Tom Brady 1 year old again. Oh, lordy. That actually might not be a good idea. Making Tom Brady 1 year old again probably is not the smartest idea. I just recreated a whole entire dynasty that does not need to be recreated. Although this is the first time they're actually in the playoffs, so I guess it somewhat worked out, but yeah, he's number 2. He's number 2 overall. Okay, well, shout out to what I just created a monster. And the Seahawks went 8-9 and missed the playoffs. So, you know what? Maybe that monster was supposed to be created in the end. I don't know. All right. Falcons, Ravens, Super Bowl. I'm going to go Falcons. They got Matt Ryan. The Ravens got Joe Flacco, I believe. So the Ravens end up winning with Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco beat Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl. That's probably the most uneventful Super Bowl you could ever ask for. All right, so let's go to draft classes, import local draft classes again. Go to 2021. And this is the T-Law and Zach Wilson with, of course, our boy Jamar Chase's draft class. Absolutely G. Love Jamar Chase. All right, so we're going to sim here through this draft class, and let's just see where everyone ends up. As long as Chase doesn't end up on the Steelers, I'll be okay. That's not where we want it. That's not where we want it. Does Penny Sewell go to the Bengals is the question. Kadarius Toney to the Seahawks is kind of crazy. Jamar Chase to the Giants. You know, that's actually not that crazy, to be honest. Eric Stokes, Packers corner, goes to the Bengals. Landon Dickerson goes to the Chiefs. Oweh went to the Colts. Okay. Mac Jones was a late second round pick to the Chiefs. They still rocking with Alex Smith in his franchise. They have not gone to Patrick Mahomes yet, which interests me a crap ton because eventually they're going to have to make the move. But they just got mac and cheese, and there's no way you're going to go from... I mean, if you got mac and cheese, bro, you can't go to Mahomes. That's straight up mac and cheese right there. That's a full course dish. That's a 100% money back guaranteed dish. All right, so who is Mr. Irrelevant? I'm going to guess the guy's name is Jake. Jake something. Jake something is Mr. Irrelevant. What my brain says. Tommy Doyle? First off, that's also the kid that was in the Jason Voorhees movies, Friday the 13th. But I think he actually went to the Cardinals in real life. Or the Bucks. What we're getting out of all this, guys, is the Bucks are the team that I always think someone went to. I'm a fraud. I'm a casual, boys. And I think that the casual take is always the Buccaneers. All right, so we are a little bit farther down for 99s. Still a little bit down for 98s as well. All right, let's go ahead and go right to the playoffs again. Let's see if the Seahawks can actually make the playoffs in this franchise series. You know, because they missed last year. We're just not looking at the fact that they made like the first 3 years, but come on. I need the Seahawks to be great right now. Now I'm thinking to myself, the Patriots are going to actually be dominant. Hopefully the Patriots are not a new king franchise in this. We don't need another dynasty. Come on. Now I'm just realizing this every single year. This is probably going to happen. I got to see, where is Mahomes? Because if they drafted mac and cheese that early, they're probably not chilling with Mahomes, are they? They got rid of Mahomes and they got rid of Alex Smith, and now they're 99 overall Carson Wentz. What did I tell you guys? This is what happens. And he has trust. He has fully activated trust. Where's Mahomes? Oh, Mahomes is on the 49ers, and he's an 85 overall. And he's their starter, too. He's a starting San Francisco 49er, and he's an 85 overall. And they also have Josh... No, wait, that's linebacker Josh Allen. So he's an 85 overall in his 4th year. Wow. And they also have Adrian Peterson. That is interesting. And they also have Jeff Allen for some reason. So Mahomes ends up leaving the Chiefs, going to the 49ers, and he's really not anything special. He ends up not really working out. Now, keep in mind, this is not... Actually, no, this is not. This is not the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, who is like the quarterback guru. So Mahomes goes there, and he's not going to a guru of quarterbacks here. Drew Brees wins MVP for the first time ever. Nice. But this is like the first time he's not going to a quarterback guru in 49ers, and he doesn't have Andy Reid in Kansas City anymore because they got rid of him. So, interesting situation. I'll say it like that. Rams beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald is MVP. Nice. So, yeah, I think Mahomes might actually have been defeated. It just took him going to a bad system and a bad environment for him to not be the best quarterback ever created, which I think is like the age-old thing everyone says about Mahomes. If he went to a bad team or bad coach, like if he went to the Brownies for like half their existence as the new Brownies, would Mahomes be great? Question is, probably not. I don't know. I don't know, you know? I'm going to hate on Mahomes because I'm a Bengals fan, but I guess if you're not going to hate on Mahomes, then maybe you think he is going to still be great. I think he'd suck. I think he'd be the worst quarterback of all time, and that's what we're seeing in this franchise series. Trayvon Walker is first pick overall. Interesting. Jermaine Burton. Oh, it's Jermaine Johnson. I cannot read names. Jermaine Burton is also my brain, but he's also from the 2024 NFL draft class. 2024, yeah. So my brain is fried. Why did Cam Taylor-Britt go to the Eagles? Dax Hill to the Colts? Bruh. We got D'Angelo Malone. What is that? Carl Malone's like ugly cousin or something? I don't know who Carl Malone is. He's a chomo. Not even allegedly. Apparently, I think he's a famous basketball player. No, by the way, I'm just joking about the whole Malone thing on that one guy. I don't think he had any relation to Karl Malone, and I'm just joking 100%. Just saying. That's completely a joke. I did not mean to actually trash that man. I just realized I absolutely verbally just destroyed that man with verbal spaghetti, but I didn't mean it like that. I meant it in the good way. Hey, Smith is the last player. You know, if I had to guess one last name, it probably would have been Smith, but so far we have not hit Smith for Mr. Irrelevant yet, so that works out pretty well. All right, so let's go to the playoffs. And let's see. Actually, wait. Before I do that, let me actually go to manage roster. And let me go over to 99s. So now we have 6-year-old players. Okay. Still rocking some 99s here. Good amount of 99s. Still not perfect. I'm waiting for the whole column to be 99s. Ooh. We have a lot of 99s. Wow, we're almost halfway through the thing before we hit 98s. That's good. Andy Dalton is still a Bengal. See, that's another thing. Teams draft quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow, great quarterback. Problem is, Joe Burrow, while he's a great quarterback, if every team, when he has a 99 overall player, who you're going to cut for Joe Burrow? I mean, who you're going to like bench for Joe Burrow? You're not. So what ends up happening is free agency ends up having players like Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. I swear, they let Patrick Mahomes back on the Chiefs with Andy Reid, I'm going to scream. And this microphone picks up everything because it's a brand new mic. So let's hope that does not happen. That's what I'll say. All right, week 18. And the Seahawks did not. They went 5-12 and missed the playoffs. Okay, well, that was not exactly. Davis Mills is now their quarterback. Phil Rivers is the best quarterback in the NFL. And Davis Mills threw the most interceptions, which makes a lot of sense. Because who the heck would ever go with Davis Mills as their quarterback? Doesn't seem like a logical take. Yearly awards. The Redskins. Nice. All right. Playoff brackets. I love how the Patriots were good 1 year, and I really thought that they were going to be the most dominant team possible, and they have yet to do anything since then. I don't know. My brain, I was like, oh, Patriots, yeah, they're going to do the same thing they did last time, but, you know, not really, actually. Giants versus Broncos. Okay. No. Oh, it's making me retire. Hold up. This is a stupid thing. Making me retire for some reason, which is always funny whenever I use Pete Carroll because it makes me retire. But Pete Carroll is literally the Raiders coach right now, just got the job. So I love how it's like, oh, in the future, he's going to retire that quickly. Matt Ryan is now the Giants quarterback, and he won Super Bowl MVP. Pretty sure that's like no, Matt Ryan lost to the Ravens. I was going to say it's the second Matt Ryan win, but he actually lost to the Ravens, so he didn't actually technically get that. He actually did not get the W in the end. All right, so here's the CJ Stroud draft. Greatest draft of all time. And I really got fooled by it. I still think CJ Stroud's a great quarterback, but I've never been more bought in on a quarterback like rookie season, thinking that they're going to be the best quarterback of all time. Not the best of all time, but I thought he was going to be a top 5 quarterback moving forward. He wasn't. Spoiler alert. He ended up not being a top 5 quarterback moving forward. Anyway, Devon Witherspoon, first overall pick. Bryce Young goes to the Chargers. Ware Anderson goes to the Colts. So they don't get Anthony Richardson, but they get Will Anderson Jr., which might work out a lot better, to be honest. I don't know. Anthony Richardson Jr., we still got to wait to see what's going on with him and if he's going to end up hitting the ceiling or, peaking. Dolphins get Rashee Rice. Lordy. Sam Laporta to the 49ers could be crazy with Patrick Mahomes. But I'm not sure if Patrick Mahomes is even their quarterback anymore. Because last time we checked, he was on the 4th year. So that's the 4th year of his rookie contract. Which I think unless he got traded, I'm assuming he got cut. Which normally you don't cut a quarterback on the rookie contract. Not like yet. You can always get the 5th-year option and potentially trade the player. So unless the Chiefs are just, trying to lose, which I don't know. They do got Carson. They got steroid version of Carson Wentz, okay? So we got a steroided version of Carson Wentz. The winners. It's the last pick. Last pick right there, boys. All right, so let's get in to the news. Now, let's go ahead and go over to this. Actually, no, before I have to check this. I have to check this for science. Mahomes is an 89 overall now. They have Case Keenum and Stetson Bennett. Okay. That's a real life thing. How many 99s, boys? How many 99s? Okay. Decent amount. Ooh, hitting green arrows early. Green arrows early means 99s usually are done or stopping soon, but doesn't look like that's the fact here. And okay, I mean, still a good amount of 98s. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there on the almost every single player in the NFL is a 99. Almost. Players when they're young, they get those boosts, and those boosts absolutely kill it. So we're slowly getting there. All right, week 3. Week 4. Steelers make the playoffs last year? Like in this franchise, I mean. Not real life, obviously. I don't remember. I don't think they did. No, they had to. Because Ben is like 6 years old. So there's no way. There's no way they would miss the playoffs. All right. Week 18. And Seahawks went 3-14. What happened to the Seahawks, man? They were so good, and now they're so bad. Do not tell me Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. He's not there yet. That's another thing about Madden is Madden loves to overhype Mahomes. So he's automatically going to get extra boost because he's Mahomes. So 32 sacks for Von Miller is actually insanity. That's actually kind of crazy. And Philip Rivers is MVP again. And Mahomes doesn't even show up on the stat sheet. Disappointing Mahomes. Yep, Patriots suck. Steelers are still in the playoffs every year, apparently. So I guess I got my answer there. All right, let's just send to the Super Bowl because Seahawks apparently suck now. So there was a run of a dynasty we had. Not a dynasty, but we had a run in this franchise with them. But yeah. Colts versus Bucks. Go with Buccaneers.
And it ends up being Colts. Anthony Walker Jr. All right, so we have our last draft here. And I don't think I'm going to sim 10 years. We already have a 34-minute video here. Like I said, I don't make these videos too long, but we're just going to sim. We're going to go through this last draft, and then we're going to see how this ends up turning out. Yeah, let's go to the draft. Because some of these players would have retired by now, but they have not. So part of this is also keeping these guys who haven't retired alive. Or not alive, but like alive in football terms, okay? Like alive in the aspect of still playing football. That sounded wrong. It sounded like I'm like talking about them being dead, but no. Anyway. Where did Caleb Williams went to the Bengals? Okay. I mean, if we went from Andy Dalton to Caleb Williams, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like we're going with the whole Achilles Smith again. And that's not just because two black quarterbacks. I'm talking about because both of them very similar. Actually, not even close, actually. I was going to say very similar play styles in college, but that's not even close. Achilles Smith was from Oregon. And he only played 2 seasons, and he was very mobile in college. Caleb Williams was actually a G in college from USC, so I shouldn't even say they're pretty similar at all. My brain just went goo goo gaga mode. Anyway, I was trying to take a shot at Caleb Williams, but I don't think there really is a shot right now because Achilles Smith was that bad. Achilles Smith was truly that bad that there isn't even a shot to be had. And Bub Means. Is he still in the NFL? Bub Means. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sim to the playoffs, and then we're going to look at the 99s. Because I just realized that your highest overall is going to be at the end of the season anyway. It's not going to be the end of the season, right? Because, you progress throughout the whole entire season. So like a 98 in the beginning of the season might turn to a 99. So kind of just realized that as I was doing this video. So shout out to that fact. But I'm going to guess half the 90 or 99s. I just don't feel like we're going to get that many. All right. So let me go over to NFL. Okay. How many 99s are we going to get? Come on. At least give me half. I just want half. I feel like hitting green this early is bad. Because green doesn't... You're not a true 99 if you're a green. You're 98 probably upgraded through something to a 99. Okay. We still... Oh my lordy. Our first 98. We at least got half. Joe Flacco was our first 98. What did Mahomes hit? He's in 93. And he's a bridge quarterback. I kind of love the fact that he's a bridge quarterback. But let's just look at all these teams here. The Broncos are flipping stacked. Holy crap, the Broncos. The Browns will stack too. Same thing with the Bucks. Wow. Some of these teams are stacked. And then you have the whatever the first team we looked at there who isn't stacked. Is there really every team is stacked but one? Hold up. Let me find out that every team is here. It's just stacked except for one team. And everyone's coming together to bully that one team. The Saints are crazy. Oh my lordy. This is the problem. How do you win a Super Bowl when everyone has stacked rosters? So look at the Bears. Okay, this is what the Bears look like. How are the Bears this bad? What are the Bears even doing? The Bears even doing? And Philip Rivers won MVP. I'm pretty sure Philip Rivers won MVP for the 18th time. I'm pretty sure every year in this franchise so far, Philip Rivers won MVP. That is kind of insane. Henry Ruggs.
is dominant. Which, again, in real life, he would have been dominant if it wasn't for the fact of his actions. He was a good player. He was. He just, too fast to live, too young to die. Bye bye. Or something like that. That's a shame scene, but, Super Bowl, Redskins, Jags. Okay. And final. Jalen Ramsey wins MVP. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one.